Batman, all of Bruce Wayne's major love interests. After years of an unstable, unofficial romance, Batman and Catwoman are getting ready to begin a new life together. The character in this film is married to the job, although that is likely an understatement in the case of The Dark Knight. This movie brought to light a trend in Bruce Wayne and Batman's relationship history. Bruce Wayne has demonstrated that his multibillionaire playboy lifestyle is not quite an act as depicted in the comics. Batwoman from 1956, brief romances with Jaina Hudson and White Rabbit from the New 52, as well as the unlucky concert pianist Natalya Trusevich, have all been issues for Batman. Julie Madison, Detective Comics #31, 1939. The first woman Bruce Wayne ever dated was Julie Madison, who initially appeared as his fiancée in Detective Comics 31 from 1939. However, the character has appeared sporadically in later DC reboots. She was an actress who initially distanced herself from Bruce because of his playfulness. But in the New 52, she came back as an artist whose father was a gunrunner linked to the killings of Bruce's parents. Later, Elle Macpherson brought the role to the big screen in 1997's Batman and Robin. Catwoman, Batman #1, 1940. When Batman let Selina Kyle to flee, they were instantly able to feel the chemistry between them that would last for decades as they courted above the rooftops of Gotham City. Batman #1 from 1940 featured Selina Kyle as the Cat for the first time. The original Earth 2 Batman eventually got married to Catwoman and had Helena Wayne/Huntress as a child. Although it took the modern Bruce Wayne some time to accept his feelings for Selina, they did so in the 2002 film Batman, Hush, and they later got engaged in the Rebirth era. Linda Page, Batman #5, 1941. After his engagement to Julie Madison fell through, Bruce Wayne's romance with Linda Page wasn't one of his most memorable, but she was one of his first. Linda made her comic book debut in 1941's Batman #5, playing a wealthy socialite-turned-nurse who was kidnapped by a gangster. Because Bruce never revealed his true identity to Linda, and because she appeared to be more attracted to Batman, their relationship was complicated. Linda Page served as Bruce Wayne's first on-screen love interest in the 1943 Batman serial. Vicki Vale, Batman #49, 1948. In 1948's Batman #49, authors introduced investigative reporter Vicki Vale to Gotham City as she persistently sought to establish Bruce Wayne's identity as Batman in an effort to mimic the charm that made Superman fall in love with Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane. But it wasn't until years later, in 1982's Batman #344, when she made a comeback, that she began expressing romantic interest in Bruce. Vale would periodically reappear over the years, but because of her reservations about him, their relationship never really took off. Kim Basinger played Vale in the well-known Batman dramatization from 1989. Talia al Ghul, Detective Comics #411, 1971. After writers were forced to incorporate Batwoman as a romantic interest and villains like Poison Ivy captivated his attention in the 1960s, Bruce Wayne would find his first brand-new real love interest after meeting Talia al Ghul, his enemy's daughter, in Detective Comics #411. Sadly, her work for the League of Assassins and her father Ra's al Ghul put an end to their love for one another. It would subsequently be revealed that their brief marriage gave birth to the young Damian Wayne, who would eventually join his father as Robin in the current dynamic duo. Silver St. Cloud, Detective Comics #469, 1978. Around the end of the 1970s, the wealthy socialite Silver St. Cloud entered Brucey's life. Despite being short-lived, the two had a passionate romance that gained a following over time. After a brief relationship with Bruce, Silver was able to uncover his greatest secret and inform him that he was the Batman. Detective Comics #469 featured Silver for the first time. Even though she still loved Bruce, she had to quit the relationship due to the way Batman lived. Natalie Allen Lynn debuted a younger version of the character to Fox's Gotham television program. Julia Remarque/Julia Pennyworth, Detective Comics #501, 1981. The first appearance of Julia Remarque, Alfred Pennyworth's daughter, appeared in Detective Comics #501 dated 1981. But it wasn't until they moved into Wayne Manor to spend time with her freshly discovered father that she and Bruce truly fell in love. They began dating formally about 1985, which caused problems for his other relationships, but Julia was subsequently obliterated by the crisis. Although she mostly maintained a professional contact with Bruce, a new Julia Pennyworth would begin supporting the Bat family in the New 52. Natalya Nocturna, Detective Comics #529, 1983. Batman had already struggled with an attraction to villains when Poison Ivy entered his life in the 1960s with her lust-inducing pheromones, but it wasn't until he met and fell in love with the villain Nocturna that he formally began dating a criminal. In 1983's Detective Comics #529, Natalya Knight made her first appearance in that role as the leader of a criminal enterprise. But as soon as she became Jason Todd's adoptive mother, she entered Bruce Wayne and Batman's lives. Later, Nocturna ran upon Night Slayer, her former love, and was killed by him before making a comeback in another timeline. Dr. Chandra Kinsolving, Batman #481, 1992. Bruce Wayne and Dr. Chandra Kinsolving initially collaborated on Tim Drake's disabled father. Bruce enlisted her assistance during Nightfall to repair his body after being severely injured in a fight with Bane. Dr. Kinsolving helped Wayne overcome his disappointment after he was defeated by Bane, and they began to realize how much they cared for one another. Sadly, Benedict Asp, the evil brother of Kinsolving, kidnapped her in order to use her healing abilities. She suffered brain damage, but because he had saved her, she could cure Wayne. Vesper Fairchild, Batman #540, 1997/Sasha Bordo. Detective Comics #751, 2000. Vesper Fairchild, the host of a radio talk show, left Gotham City after their exciting encounter in Batman #540 from 1997, but Bruce Wayne began dating her. When she returned to continue their relationship, a new challenge arose. After Wayne Corp hired her as a bodyguard in Detective Comics #751 from 2000, Sasha Bordo quickly understood who Bruce Wayne was and he began to train her. Bruce was seeing Vesper, but he was in love with Sasha. The romance, however, came to an end once Vesper was killed and Sasha joined Checkmate. When Sasha joined Checkmate, the romance ended. JLA, Wonder Woman, 2003. Together with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman constituted DC's powerful trinity, and they worked closely on the Justice League. Despite the fact that the two friends had come to value one another on the pages of JLA, it almost led to something more. The two have a passionate kiss despite the fact that their relationship is not allowed to progress due to their occupations because of their yearning for one another and the impending disaster of the Obsidian Age. Although they remained committed to their past love arrangements, Bruce and Diane's feelings for one another rekindled while they were trapped in another dimension and engaged in an endless conflict. Jezebel Jet, Batman #656, 2006. Bruce Wayne first saw Jezebel Jet during a fundraiser for an art gallery in Batman #656 from 2006. Due to his playboy reputation, she was hesitant to begin seeing him, but they rapidly became one of Gotham's most well-known couples. Jet would eventually discover his actual identity as Batman after pressing him about his many disappearances and questionable bruises. They appear to be getting even closer after the discovery, but Jet soon revealed that she had been lying to him and had been working for the evil Black Glove organization, ruining their relationship, and all but ruling out the possibility of Batman ever finding love again until the New 52 and Catwoman.